Greetings, Francesca Arnoldi here, community doula and deathlit author, wanting to talk about music at the end of life. Recently, a person reached out to me for some remote support, so support from a distance, while he was caring for his mother at the end of her life. And when he first reached out, it was unclear how much time she might have had left. He had a feeling that time was getting short, and really he had a knowing, and he was advocating for her to be able to receive and access more end of life services. And suddenly, soon after that, her health took a very drastic turn, which surprised even him and especially her team. And so as they were scrambling to coordinate care and find her a place where she could receive the level of care that she needed and deserved, he stayed in touch until the very end and through the end. And the night that she died, probably around midnight or so that night, he reached out with a message to say that they had wheeled her out into the night, into the evening, in her bed, and her hometown choir encircled her and sang to her as she took her final breaths. And he said that during their last song that they sang together, that she took a very peaceful final breath and released, and that she was carried by the wings of their voices into the night with the full moon rising, and how much awe they all felt as a result of that beautiful ending. Now, not all endings are so beautiful, are so wonderfully orchestrated, and are so supported. But I think it is very inspiring to know that that is possible. And he very generously agreed to having this story shared so that others might be able to expand their frame of reference when it comes to the end of life and recognize and realize that this could potentially be an option for them as well. For me as a doula, it also reminded me of the work that I've done at the beginning of life and ushering in life. And I've worked with only a couple of laboring people who utilized song in that way. Music definitely has been a feature and a fixture of many births, many soundtracks to labor and delivery, myself included. I had music playing, and it definitely can shift the feeling on the atmosphere around somebody during such a sacred and intense experience like the beginning of life and like the end of life. But only a few people I remember, a few laboring mamas, were singing and vocalizing during their contractions as they were nearing birth. And it was incredibly powerful to witness. There was one mom in particular who I was with her for 2 of her births, and she is a composer, so she's quite musical in her life and in her work. And so when she was pregnant for each baby, she found herself humming, and she would allow the humming to become a refrain and then to develop as she was getting further along in her pregnancy. And then during the birth, those refrains developed into more of a song, and she was composing a birth song for each baby, a completely unique composition for this particular child to bring this baby into the world. And so it helped her maintain her focus, and she was able to channel the energy into creating not only life, but also music. And it was incredibly gorgeous. And then she told me that with both of those babies, when they were cranky, when they were tired, she would hum their birthing songs to them. And it always seemed to calm and soothe them even more than any other piece of music might. So I think that what a beautiful way to be ushered out of the world and into the world, encircled with music, with song, with connection, and with love. So I encourage you to also think about incorporating music into some of your planning, into your end of life plans. What might bring you a sense of calm or comfort? What might transport you into a mindset or a place where you would want to be during those moments? Or would you prefer silence? And some music thanatologists believe that familiar music at the very end might actually anchor us to this lifetime and to this body. So that's also interesting to think about and to consider. So much to discuss, and we will continue on together.